the momentum in this race is shifting. And there are signs that Donald Trump is feeling it. You may have noticed. So last week, you may have seen, he pulled out of the debate in September he had previously agreed to. So here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about that. So he won't debate, but he and his running mate sure seem to have a lot to say about me. And by the way, don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird? Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say, say it to my face. So, Georgia, in the next 98 days, we have our work cut out for us. And this is not going to be easy. This is hard work, but we like hard work. Hard work is good work. So, Georgia, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States.
Just 98 days now until America votes. Let's bring in Alex Thompson, national political reporter for Axios, New York Times journalist Lulu Garcia-Navarro, and Matt Gorman, former communications director for the National Republican Congressional Committee. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Great to have you here. Alex, let's start at the beginning of all of those clips. Will Trump ultimately debate Kamala Harris, do you think?
His team is saying that he's going to, and that this is sort of a bit of a negotiating tactic, that essentially he agreed to debate Joe Biden on ABC, and now they're going back and forth and saying, well, now it's a different candidate, we'll see. I bet you we still will have multiple debates. Clearly Kamala Harris's team wants to have them. She's said that she thinks that they are the underdog in this race. They want to get her right next to them on the debate stage. She's younger, she can articulate a case, she has the prosecution background, she can deliver the sort of canned lines of debates. I expect we'll have one or maybe two.
And Matt, it's worth noting that a rally last night was in Atlanta, Georgia, a place or a state that looked like it was going to be out of reach for Democrats, that now potentially Democrats are hoping maybe they can get back and win as they did in 2020. What does that say to you that one of the first places she's going is down to Georgia?
And next week she's going to be doing a little tour around the swing states.
Right.
There's a Springsteen lyric about poking a dog to see if it gets up and run. If I'm her, you have a new campaign, you have excitement, you have a new candidate. Go and see if these states that were essentially dead or close to off the table for Joe Biden, if they get up and run a little bit, and if the polls move in a way that is separate from purely the excitement of having a new candidate and kind of the high of the last week. I think what you saw also was I'm seeing shades a little bit of her announcement in January 2019, where it was an electric announcement, lots of people, but what Kamala's always been very, very good at is when she controls the variables and she's able to have a lot of preparation as a prosecutor in her. I think think she's able to succeed. Where she gets on her back foot a lot is when she has these unkind of prepared interactions with other reporters, other candidates like Tulsi Gabbard on the debate stage. So that's going to be the tell for me when she starts doing interviews. Maybe a debate, but maybe she can get through that with canned lines. But this reminded me a little bit more of her announcement when she first ran for president.
Yeah. And Lulu, then so we get to the issue of immigration and the border crisis, which of course Republicans really want this to be a huge piece of this campaign, and they really want to pin it on Kamala Harris. We heard J.D. Vance going after her. I want to play what she said to that. Let's listen.
I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers that came into our country illegally. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
Lulu, how effective is that pushback? Because Republicans really want to hang this all on her. It's a vulnerability for Democrats. It has been. Do you think she can effectively counter that?
Well, I think what was very interesting last night is she's trying to get ahead of it, right? She's trying to have a narrative, which is don't think about the 3.5 years of Joe Biden and what's happened at the border. I'm going to talk to you about the person I was before I joined the ticket. And again, it's that prosecutor. It's trying to talk about, what she did in California. Of course, the counter narrative coming from the Republicans is that you were a border czar. She wasn't, but that's the kind of thing that they're trying to pin on her. Listen, this is a bad issue for Democrats. It's a bad issue for Kamala Harris. She has a narrative here. She's trying to push it that there's a bill that failed, and because of Donald Trump, and she would sign it if she comes into office. But the fact is that the more you talk about it, the more that her record and the record of this administration is going to come into focus. And I don't think she's going to win on the merits on this.
Yeah, and Lulu makes a great point, because there was that legislation, bipartisan legislation, that was killed. But explaining that, Alex, to the American people, it takes a minute to walk through all of that. It's not a simple answer. Do you think that they can? It's not easy to message all of that.
Yeah, and she tried to make that argument yesterday that, we want to secure the border. Donald Trump killed the bill, right? That was the main argument.
Yeah.
What was also interesting is I covered the 2020 Democratic primary. That was not the same Kamala Harris that we saw last night.
I did too, and that is a different version.
She was not talking about her prosecutorial record in that way, about going after, Central American gangs. This is a different Kamala Harris, and you've seen basically her run away from her 2019 campaign. She's no longer running on Medicare for all. She's running on her prosecutorial record, whereas before, the Kamala is a cop meme from the left wing really bothered her, and so she wasn't running as a prosecutor. Now she's a general election candidate. She's running on that record. It will be interesting to see if voters follow along.
And also Democrats. I mean, this is a problem for her with Democrats, because the tougher you are on issues on the border, there is a big part of the base there, including Latinos, who are like, we weren't happy with that bill. We're not happy with the positions that Joe Biden has taken, and we certainly don't embrace some of the things that Kamala Harris is saying too.